As we are live. Who's going first today?
You can lead, Kingsley. You've got some substance.
I can go first, I guess. So I guess I just want to talk about a very simple practical matter that here we are in November. Next month's obviously December and January, and they can be for a number of small businesses extremely tough cash flow wise. I think December, I guess depending what pay cycle you're on, particularly if you're a Thursday payroll type outfit, I think there's going to be, for many, there'll be 3 pay runs in December, which could be tough. December's actually, although it looks better than a lot of other years in terms, well, depending on when you want to give your staff the start of their holidays, but December looks fairly good for productivity compared to others. That Christmas is pretty late into December and it falls on a Friday. So we should get pretty close to a full month's work in December, which is better than usual. Likewise in January, that's New Year's Day also, I think, falls on a Friday. So that's reasonably convenient. So again, depending on how generous you want to be with your staff. But I know a lot of outfits will do, particularly out in the light industrial areas and so forth, will do, pretty much full shutdowns for a couple of weeks there. But of course, you have to still keep paying your staff. So you're earning nothing and you're still shelling out, particularly for wages, which is usually most businesses' biggest expense. So I guess in what's been a very unusual year of cash flow and so forth, I guess just make sure you are well and truly ready for that, because that's often a real killer for people that they come out of January sort of a little bit crippled cash flow wise. So do your forecasting and get in to see the bank manager for the overdraft limit if you need to, quick smart basically. And that's really all I want to really get people thinking about this week.
Nothing like an analogy to keep people on track. And I've got one here for you today, which I picked up. It's not mine. It came up in the Smart Company newsletter. But it really got me thinking about how we often see our own businesses and the brand within our business. And you look at things and think, how could anyone buy from so-and-so? Well, the one that a lot of people are asking at the moment is, how do so many people vote for so-and-so? And the 3 examples I'd love to touch on and just give you some thought space with brands are the brands of Trump, Biden, and Obama. And often we look at these and think, well, they're totally different or business, but really they're not. With all due respect, and for any trigger warnings for people who happen to have purchased a British-made car over the years, there are a lot of people who've bought Jaguars or Land Rovers, perhaps even the Range Rover. And they'll know that they are absolutely passionate about their British-made cars. They will tell you how fabulous they are. And they have the fact that they have a one-on-one relationship with their mechanic defies logic. They really shouldn't be doing it, and they know they shouldn't be doing it logically, but the emotional connection to that brand is so strong that you will walk across glass for it. And if I look at the brand of Trump, that probably is where a lot of his voters sit. There's a lot of logic that they just throw out the window because the emotional connection and the affinity and the collective value of that is so strong that you'll continue to participate in it. Now, there's another brand which we often associate it with perhaps boring boxes that drive with 4 wheels. I happen to drive one, being a Toyota. But truthfully, they're not that exciting. They'll get you from A to B. We'll take out the Supra and maybe we'll take out the Land Cruiser from there. But fundamentally, they're great, reliable, boring vehicles that don't get people all that excited. And a lot of businesses are like that too. We service the problem. We get you from A to B. We're a safe option. And I think perhaps a lot of people are looking at Biden like that. And the third option, which is actually one of the most tricky to manage as a business, is the brand that sets expectations way up here. You believe that they will solve all the problems in the world. And there's one that goes around that really fits this bill quite nicely. People are very passionate about it. They love their products from Apple, despite the fact that things like Apple Music have made all those songs you bought over the years, quite difficult to access and you can't connect to it. But because you're so enamored with the promise of the brand, you're willing to put aside maybe the experience that isn't up to scratch. When we look at our own business, it's great to look at the brand out there that other people are achieving, what people connect to, and what we perhaps need to do to fulfill those promises. Because really, as someone pointed out to me recently, someone who buys from you once isn't actually a customer. They're just dipping their toe in the water. What you need is a brand which engages people and brings them back to vote for you in the case of an election, or buy from you multiple times. And I think it's great to look at, you know, some of these things outside of the traditional sense and see what you can learn from it. I think a lot of people have been very surprised at how many people are absolutely enamoured with, you know, the Trump vote, and businesses out there like that can learn a lot for it. Roll on, Range Rover.
That is very interesting there, Anthony, that, you know, about the branding, and we hope that everybody is very strong on their branding. And if not, obviously you've got sessions available with Anthony to go and talk about your branding with him to get your messaging right and to get that imagery matching what you're putting out there, and that consistency, which I know is so, so important. And one thing I wanted to touch on, I did think of something, is that we've now got a Business Southwest meetup group. If you go on to Meetup, we have a Business Southwest group, and I am just throwing around the idea of a men's beer and business catch up. So we have the women's coffee catch ups regularly across the area, and now I'm toying with the idea of beers and business just for the men, so you can all go and have your beers and chats like us women go and have our coffees and wines and chats, because we think it's really important that everybody has something. But on that, we have our normal catch up next Friday. It is early this month because we're trying to squeeze in an extra one before Christmas. We're getting such great comments from everyone that comes that they have such a good time at the Friday drink. So we're just trying to squeeze it in. So it's next Friday at the parade at 5 o'clock, and it's happy hour when we're there. So make sure you come along. Anything else, guys, today?
I just think, Louise, if we have that blokes group, it'll just denigrate down into just everyone saying, no, I've got the best wife. You know, my wife.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I'll send my husband along just so that he can give me that feedback.
I insist that I have. That's what it'll end up being, I'm sure.
Surely. It won't be about like craft beer or anything beer. I don't know. No. I'm not a man, so I won't be there. No. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Nice and short and sweet today. We will look to have some more of these coming up, and we'll see everyone else next week. We hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Look forward to it. See you.